Welcome, beloved Sangha, to our Serkhangma Commentary series led by our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We'll begin today's session in the Yellow Garchen Institute prayer book on page 4 and page 5 with opening prayers. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Shakji Jabu Jadun Guzhan Zar Durjan Janjin Delo Naro Tang Mapamala Chuje Gampo Ba Pamodruba Jawan Dogongba Gaju Lama Namje Dajon Je Dananda Zara Damje Do Lama Lapa Laye Jizu Zon Lazon Yondin Jamzung Alavan Dintre Don Jenrebe Gelate Jenzava Lama Jije Kuzon Doja Zinlan Dada Dage Julan Bede Dage Timbadan Sunje Donja Jemban Ravar Sunje Labda Sur Dage Lo Chuson Ravar Sunje Labda Sur Chua Lamdan Ravar Sunje Labda Sur Lam Trava Sevara Sunje Labda Sur Trava Ishi Sunja Vara Sunje Labda Sur Kange Dinjen Ravar Jong Gapa Mepa Che Mepa Chepa Mepa Ta Mepa me bando me bata de dome de me tribani je demba zoba sanje manam je tamba de la janzar. Grant your blessings so that my mind may be one with the Dharma. Grant your blessings so that the Dharma may progress along the path. Grant your blessings so that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessings so that I may transform confusion into wisdom. Okay, dear Dharma friends, very nice to see you all again. When we talk Dharma, this is a great karma. This karma is not simple. This karma is auspicious. So we all can keep a happy mind for that. And then today we are reached the 6th section or the 6th branch among 10 branch. So the 6th branch is the exhortation to teach. So we already studied some part of these, so today we will continuously discuss on there. So the way to request the teaching of Dharma is to first generate oneself as the Yidam deity, having arising as the Yidam, one instantly transforms into the Lord of the Brahma Loka, namely Brahma himself. He has 4 heads, is gold in color, and is endowed with all the precious attributes, clothing and so forth, of the highest of the gods. In front of oneself are each and every one of the fully qualified lamas, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. One approaches each one, circumambulates, prostrates, and respectfully presents the golden well of Brahma with its 1,000 spokes. Request them sincerely and respectfully as follows. Please turn the wheel of Dharma for the benefit, welfare, and ultimate happiness of the limitless beings throughout all the worlds. I implore you to teach the Dharma in such a way that it is accessible and useful to every living being, according to their capacity and temperament in all of their different languages, thereby bringing them to the state of spiritual maturity, so that they attain full enlightenment. This method of requesting is reminiscent of Buddha Shakyamuni's life story. For 7 weeks after his enlightenment, he did not teach at all. Brahma appeared in front of him with a golden 100,000 spoked chakra, and Indra appeared with a conch shell. They offered these gifts and requested Dharma teaching on behalf of all beings. The Buddha accepted and set out to find his former companions, to whom he would eventually teach the Four Noble Truths. So actually Buddha started to teach Four Noble Truth. And also finally his teaching is the ultimate truth. So Buddha's teaching is truth. Truth. This is very important. Truth means Buddha taught reality. for example, fire is heat. Water is cold. So Buddha taught in the relative level. Buddha taught truly, and in ultimate level, there is no fire, there is no water. So Buddha taught truly. Perhaps you think, oh, then Buddha don't want to teach this. We can understand. We know fire is heat or hot, water is cold, something like that. But we don't know that. Especially we misunderstanding. Self-grasping, ego state, I, these things are illusory things, delusion. But we think they are real. But Buddha said there's no I. In the relative level, there is I, so then there is cause and effect. That's where take care for others, for oneself. That's where Buddha said in the relative level, there is I, there is egoistic mind. So this is a fundamental or foundation of cause and effect. So be careful. If you do bad things, then you will experience suffering. If you do good things, then you will experience good. You will experience good things or good feeling or so on. But then through meditation, our realization will increase, and we found selflessness, and then there is no I. So that's where this is very important. Teaching is important because through teaching it introduces. After listening the teachings, then we will put it into the action. That means a practice. So we should practice experientially. Then we will experience reality. This vastly meritorious ritual of requesting teachings has continued from that time until the present. Meditate that each Buddha accepts the request. These words of Lord Jigten Sunggung are addressed to the enlightened ones. He asks them to turn the wheel in such a way as to guide each living being from wherever they are to a higher level of spiritual awareness. Whatever their state of mind, condition, or capacity, and from there to guide them directly so that they may quickly achieve the state of highest perfect enlightenment. That is his and our sincere request to the enlightened ones. In the Sutra of Sacred Golden Light, Shakyamuni Buddha said, "The four-faced Brahma offered me the 100,000 spoked chakra and requested me to teach the Dharma. This was because in a previous life I practiced the four immeasurables and thought that I requested the Buddhas to teach the Dharma. Due to this karma, the four faces of Brahma established the four immeasurables." Lord Jigten Sunggung said that when future generations ask for the Dharma to be taught, they should ask for the vast and profound Dharma. It's not as beneficial to just ask in general for instructions, but they should ask in particular for vast and profound teachings. This is accord with the way that the Buddha himself requested the Dharma teachings in our previous life. Next is the 7th session, the supplication to remain. The root text says, I beseech you, protectors, who abide throughout all realms, please do not pass into nirvana under the exhaustion of the dhatu of space. Rather, fulfill your commitment by abiding permanently. This 7 branch of practice is a prayerful supplication to the enlightened ones to remain in this world, to remain accessible to living beings so long as there are still living beings wandering in samsara. Visualize yourself as the Yadam and then send forth rays of light from the heart in all directions. From these rays of light, Buddha Amitayos manifests. Red in color, he holds in his hands the sacred vase filled with the nectar of immortality. Sacred, infinite emanations of Buddha Amitayos fill the entire universe. Not just one or two, but innumerable Buddhas throughout the universe in all directions. At that point, one visualizes the merit field or refuge tree with the root lama in the form of Lord Jigten Sunggung. He is surrounded by all the lineage lamas and so forth. As discussed before, all of these different forms of Buddha Amitayos dissolve into each member of the refuge tree. By doing so, all the members of that refuge field, with one's Lama in the center as the Lord, gain the nature of the Buddha Amitayos. In other words, they gain Vajra stability to remain continually. At that time, contemplate, may all these lamas, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and enlightened ones remain. May their lives be stable like the unchanging sun of good fortune. May their banners of victory always be held higher above them. May they remain seated like the indestructible Vajra. In this way, offer the indestructible double Vajra throne to each one. So here we understand, we often see on the Guru's throne there is a crown, how to say, double Vajra. Double Vajra, that means for longevity. Visualize them each seated upon that throne with oneself in front, making the request, saying, "You who are the Nirmanakaya of the Enlightened One, for the benefit of all sentient beings, without exception, please remain in this world so long as any of us remain." This humble prayer request reminds each of them of their original commitment and pledge upon becoming a Bodhisattva to stay in the world so long as a single living being is still wandering through birth and death. In that way, it is a reminder to them as well as our own prayer. As it says in the King of Noble Prayers, "With folded hands, I beseech those who intend to manifest the final nirvana to remain for as many eons as there are atoms in all the worlds, for the benefit and happiness of all living beings." Lord Jigten Sungkul said that we should often supplicate in this way. Actually, the best long life, Amrita, for our Guru is our mind. But in this case, we supplicate our Guru to remain until the end of samsara and pray that the Guru's activities may flourish. Another form of Amrita for the Guru's long life is healthy food, good water to drink, and good medicine. They are cause for the long life of the Guru. Also, we don't allow the Guru to become overly tired, and we help him when he is coming and going. We clear the path where the Guru is walking, and if the Guru is riding a horse, we help by holding the reins. These days, what is called stairwell. Yeah, and we carefully drive, something like that. Yeah. Well, during the Lord Jigten Sungkul, at that time there was no more cars. Lord Jigten Sungkul said that when he was in the monastery, he asked some lamas to make a special prayer for the long life of the Guru, so that the Guru's beneficial activities for sentient beings might provide everywhere. And he said that when you practice Dharma, you should do so for the Guru's longevity, so that the Guru's activity might flourish and benefit others. If you do that, then your virtues will be powerful. By these methods, we should supplicate for the long life of the Guru. If we do so, then in this life we will have a long life with fewer obstacles, and ultimately we will attain enlightenment. Lord Jigten Sungkul also requested that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas remember their commitment to stay for a very long time to benefit mother sentient beings. From our side, for the Guru's long life, it is important to try to keep good samaya and supplicate. However, even after the Guru's pre-nirvana, it doesn't mean that he is gone from this world, because the Guru always remains in the Dharma-Dhartu space. The Dharma-Dhartu space is our own mind. If we have devotion, then the Guru is always with our mind, as is the Buddha. When the Buddha was about to demonstrate Parinirvana, Ananda was crying, and he requested that the Buddha not leave him and the other disciples alone. The Buddha told him, Ananda, don't be sad and don't cry. In the future degenerated time, I will appear in the form of Dharma scriptures. At that time, you should be devoted to the scriptures. This is a very important instruction or information to keep in our Sangha's mind. Because 2,500, almost 600 years ago, Buddha had demonstrated to Parinirvana, but he left all instructions and his teachings for 80 years. He accumulated merit for thousands of years. He took rebirth, thousands lives. So he accumulated boundless merit. So everything he put into his Sutara and Vajrayana teachings. So right now, we can communicate Buddha directly through these scriptures. We can understand Buddha's realization vividly, and we can gain this realization through these scriptures. So we must pay attention to practice with these scriptures. Sometimes we are easily satisfied with the scriptures, but we always dissatisfied with money, power, fame, at worldly activities. So that's why we have to focus Buddha's scriptures, Mahasiddha's scriptures and path instructions, and our Guru's path instructions, and focus. We try to keep them in our heart, in our mind. As Milarepa said, instructions dissolve in the mind is like a salt dissolve in the water. During the Milarepa retreat in the different caves, different solitary places, he remembered each and every instructions of Marpa. So, for that reason, then his instructions are combined with the Marpa's instructions. If you read Marpa's scriptures and Milarepa's these instructions, they are very same. They are little different. Marpa's scriptures instructions are very how to how to say very good for the scholars. I mean, who understand very well in Dharma. Milarepa's instructions are very good for who are no more learning. But that only differences are vocabularies. But reality in the Marpa's instruction and Milarepa's instruction are same. It should be same. Have to be same. So this is same. For example, Milarepa said these 5 aggregates are, if we don't realize it, then this is these 5 aggregates are the foundation of suffering. But when we realize these 5 aggregates are, and they are the 5 family Buddhas, the Marpa said same thing, Milarepa said same thing. All you bring this pot. So this is a good thing. I don't mean how to say this. They are same, so we don't focus them. But I mean, we should focus both Malas, Repas, Marpas, and Gambopas, and all these instructions. So for example, Marpa went to India for many times. He crossed mountains, snow mountains, dangerous rivers. And he dedicated lots of things. Marpa's son Dharmandode told to Milarepa. First Milarepa came to the Marpa's place, and then at that time Milarepa don't know Marpa, and he asked where is Marpa. He heard, of course, that's why he searched Marpa. So he asked where is Marpa. How to say he used some great name of Marpa, and then Dharmandode replied, my father's name is Marpa. When he went to the India, he took many gold. But when he come back, he bring only Dharma books. Other people went to India and come back, they bring lots of things. But my father, when he came back, he bring only books. That's why he changed the book and the gold. So that's where this our Kajupa tradition, there are profound teachings. This is the kindness of Marpa. Without Marpa, we cannot. And then after Marpa, he did not keep it by himself. Everything he put into his disciples' mind. He shared. Even he gave his scriptures, books, he shared with his disciples before he had pre-nirvana. That's where right now we have Milarepa's 100,000 songs. If we only focus on Milarepa's songs, it will make empty of our samsara. So we should more focus about the scriptures, because the Buddha said that, right, to the Ananda. Don't be sad, don't be cry. In degenerated time, I come to the form of scriptures. At that time, you should be devoted to the scriptures. Devoted means we bring it and put on our head. This is also wonderful. And we don't cross on the scriptures. These are wonderful. And also we don't put our cups, and as well our sunglass or reading glasses on the Dharma books. These are also great. That means we have devotion. But the best thing is we have to bring all of these informations. Actually, there is a thing. If you learn one sentence of Buddha's teaching and you keep it, it is like a key to open the many doors. And then you reflect on there and meditate on there, and it will open the many doors, which means the many understanding will arise. Okay, so now we actually do have Dharma scriptures. When Buddha was living in India, at that time there were no writing Dharma books or scriptures. Now we have them, so we should respect them and be devoted to them. Just by putting them on our head, though they won't transmit their Dharma qualities to us, we have to contact with the Dharma teachings with our mind and bring the instructions into our mind and dissolve them there. In this way, we will become free from samsara. Also, when Milarepa demonstrated pre-nirvana, he told his disciples that he would be always in their minds. When Lord Jigten Sunggu demonstrated pre-nirvana, his disciples asked him in which pure land he could be found. He told them that they wouldn't find him in any pure land other than the space of their minds. So that we have to practice. So practice means we have to understand our natural state of mind. When we understand our natural state of mind, we can see thousands of Buddhas in our mind. Our mind is a real Dharma Dhatu. Our mind is Dharmakaya. So if we do not separate our mind from the Guru's mind, the Guru will always be there. As Jamgon Kondra said in calling the Guru from afar, the Guru is not outside of our own mind, but is inseparable from it. Whether we are happy or suffering, healthy or unhealthy, at all times we should meditate on our Guru. If we do that, then we can be the same as Milarepa. The Guru is Buddha, the Guru is Dharma, the Guru is Sangha. If we realize our mind as the Guru, there is no realization of Dharmakaya beyond that. When we realize that, then compassion and bodhicitta radiate spontaneously, and we perform the activities of the Nirmanakaya and the Sambhogakaya and benefit all mother sentient beings. As it is said at the beginning of the Serkhangma text, Golden Temple text, I gaze upon the supreme self-erasing Lama seated on the immutable, spontaneously established throne. When we cross the vast ocean of samsara, if the Guru was not the essence of the three kayas, there would be no way to be liberated from samsara by seeing the Guru. In the Serkhangma root text, it is said at the beginning, "With the eye of wisdom, I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama, the victorious hero in the battle. Just by remembering that refuge over afflictive emotions, through thoughts and hordes of maras are defeated. If even just remembering the Guru has this power, then by gazing appropriately, we can empty samsara." So I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama. Seems very easy, right? We don't blink our eyes just looking. It does not mean only these flash eyes. We have to look through our mind, so shamatha is very important. If we did not training well shamatha, then we love to look unwaveringly. We love to gaze unwaveringly, but we can't. So shamatha is very important. As well, all these practices are important. There are many important. This is true because each and every these branch help to make empty the samsara. Okay. The next section is dedication. The root text says, "May all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed supreme state by this virtue, by the virtues accumulated in the 3 times throughout all samsara and nirvana, and by the undefiled innate virtue." This is the 8 of the 10 practice, namely dedication of all of the virtues accumulated throughout all time by all beings to the ultimate goal of universal enlightenment. Dedication is one of the 3 excellences that should be part of every Mahayana practice. First, one must begin by establishing bodhicitta as the motivation for performing the practice. Second, one must keep one's mind free from distraction and afflictive mental state while engaging in the practice. Third is dedication of the merit generated to the welfare of all beings. In particular, we dedicate the roots of virtue that arose from the practice in this text. The merits arising from the first collection of virtue, the practice of beholding the body of the Lama, which is in actuality the threefold form of enlightenment, and entering into a state of meditative conception with them as the focus from the second collection. The threefold homage of body, speech, and mind arising from the third collection. The outer, inner, secret, and ultimate offerings arising from the fourth collection. The confession and purification of all non-virtues of body, speech, and mind arising from the fifth collection. Rejoicing in the merits of all others and arising from the sixth collection, exhorting the enlightened ones throughout the universe to turn the wheel of Dharma for the benefit of living beings. And finally, the merit arising from supplicating the enlightened wants to remain in the world until the end of samsara. All of these virtues are dedicated. In fact, all virtues from these or other virtues, practice done by any living being, whatsoever are to be dedicated her to the attainment of ultimate enlightenment by all beings. Lord Jigten Sungkung repeatedly emphasized the importance of dedication. The fact is that living beings remain in samsara after so many eons. After the visit of many Buddhas, after so many opportunities have been lost. Why is this? It is because the virtues accumulated throughout these manifold lifetimes, massive as they are, have been squandered. Had they been dedicated properly, then one would have a vast store of merit. By misunderstanding dedication, living beings remain caught up in samsara and subject to all the miseries associated with the lack of merit. This is the great importance of dedicating merit. It is also important to perform the dedication properly. If, for example, one delays dedication until after ordinary thoughts and afflictive mental states have reappeared, then the dedication is said to have been tainted. It's like biting into an apple and leaving it on the table until it turns brown. The practice here is analogous to a drop of water. If one puts that drop on any ordinary surface, a plate or something, very soon it will be dried up and gone. If one took the same drop and put it into the ocean, it will remain there until the ocean itself is depleted. Yeah? Likewise, if we don't dedicate our virtue and merely use it up in the course of our ordinary lives, then it is gone, squandered. Instead, if we immediately dedicate virtues to highest enlightenment, then that merit will remain until highest enlightenment is attained. In that way, one's store of merit grows greater and greater. This principle of dedicating merit, is something that Lord Buddha himself taught over and over again in the Mahayana Sutras. So, what is the dedication? Longchen Ramjan said that the dedication is a method for training one's virtues into great power. In Sanskrit, dedication is Varanatha. Viranatha, this means increasing virtues and transforming something into virtue. If you practice for even just a short time or accumulate even just a few mantras, then dedication will increase and multiply your virtues and help to perceive them for a long time. Conditioned virtues depend on certain causes and conditions, such as circumambulating a stupa, dedication transforms them into unconditioned virtues. Ordinary virtues are finished after the result ripens. But if they are dedicated, then they do not finish. If one cultivated virtues a few years ago, for example, the result will ripen later. The result of generosity is that one will become wealthy. But if the merit is dedicated, then it will also bring results, such as good health, long life, understanding of the Dharma, and so on. In fact, dedication can be made for many things, such as long life, good health, and so on, or for someone who has passed away, for example. And also, we dedicate to attain enlightenment. Even the Lord Jigten Sunggon said in the Buddha's single attention, Gongje, Buddhas and gurus, when they pre-nirvana, we have to dedicate for them. Why? Because they, they enter in pre-nirvana. That means they are, for example, they are always benefit for mother sentient beings. So when we dedicate for them, then it will support their activities flourishing. Their activities flourish everywhere. Buddhas and our gurus, their each and every actions, even action or acting of stand up or sit down and walking, talking, everything are for welfare mother sentient beings. That's why if we dedicate for them, it will support their activities. Through this way, we receive merit. This is the law of karma. Actually, how much we can try to benefit others, the result come back. This is law of karma. In the simple way, if I bring an example, for example, for me, I think this is also related to karma, but you check, okay, I cannot say 100%. For example, I have haircutting. So I got it almost last year. Almost last year. It's many months ago. But I cannot use it. I couldn't use it. Even I couldn't charge it. And I couldn't own because there are many things on there. But then I just left, keep it. And just recently, one friend asked all lamas, do you have a hair cutting or haircut? Yeah, cutter. And I forgot it doesn't work, but suddenly I said, yes, I have. And then I uh, gave him it or the charger or together. After I shared, gave or borrow, right? Lend. I lended this to him, and after I remember, perhaps it doesn't work. But however, and then he gave him back. He gave him back. I asked him, "Does it work?" Uh, he said yes, but I thought, oh, he kindly said that. Otherwise, it maybe it doesn't work. But then I just put in my room, and then that next day, 2 days later or something, I just check. It works very well. It already knew, you know. This is a very simple. I thought, oh, it's karma is really like that. For try to, I lend him sincerely. At that time, I forgot it doesn't work, but then it worked, and when he gave me it back, it worked very well. So like that, the karma is like that. If we do good things for others, really a good result will be back. Especially we do good things for gurus and Buddha and Bodhisattvas, then of course it has a great merit. So we all try to put it into the action. But the dedication has also different layers. So the best dedication is to realize the non-duality. But if we don't realize non-duality, we must dedicate our virtues through bodhicitta. This is the traditional Mahayana dedication. As Tsongkhapa said, first one should listen and reflect vastly, and then one should utilize the instructions for one's practice. You should not just learn the teachings, but you should bring them into your mind. This is very important. Sometimes I think maybe you. Sometimes I emphasize you should learn or something. I don't mean you only learn and don't practice. Okay, if you understand that, then this is little misunderstand. So why we are learning, why we are studying, for the sake of practice, right? So if we learn and then practice, this is so imaho, so wonderful, and it's very possible someone in the who learned in previous lives and this life immediately can arise realizations. Then these kind of practitioners don't want to learn, particularly with these scriptures. Through their meditations, they will gain all this understanding of Dharma. So that's where Longjin Ramjan said that if you realized the you gain the realization, then there's no higher than that to learn. So the main thing we study or reading or prayers, all things are we try to recognize our natural state of mind. Okay, so finally you should then practice the instructions day and night, and you should dedicate the merit from all of them. Jetsongkhapa said that. And Shantideva said, wherever someone is physically or mentally suffering, may they receive my merit, and may they be happy and healthy, and experience the ocean of happiness. Dedication is like a precious storehouse. Milarepa said that a great meditator who meditates on the mountainside and the sponsor who supports that meditator have auspicious interdependence and will become equally enlightened. The essence of this auspicious interdependence is dedication. This is so important. So, dedication has this power. In the 35 Confession of Buddhas, it says that what the previous Buddhas dedicated, what the future Buddhas will dedicate, and what the present Buddhas are dedicating, oneself should also dedicate the same as them. Lungchen Ramjam said, first generate compassion and bodhicitta, second realize non-duality, finally dedicate them to all mother beings. These three are the most important and precious things. So dedication is extremely important. The Buddha said in a suttara, if a drop of saliva is dropped on sand, it immediately dries up. But if it is dropped into the ocean, it will remain for as long as the ocean remains. Therefore, all the virtues will finish if you regret them or if you dedicate them for a temporal purpose. But if you dedicate them for enlightenment, they will increase and not finish. There is a story from the time of the Buddha. In a city in Magadha, some people invited the Buddha for the midday meal the next day. After they left, 500 hungry ghosts came to the Buddha and asked him to dedicate the merit for them. Although the Buddha knew who they were, he asked them, "Who are you? And why should I dedicate their merit for you?" They replied that they were the parents of the people of Magadha and that they were reborn as hungry ghosts due to the karmic of greed. The Buddha then said that they should come to the meal and that he would dedicate the merit for them. But they said that they were too ashamed to go there as hungry ghosts. Then the Buddha replied that they should have been ashamed at the time they committed the negative karma, but that there was no point in being ashamed now, and that they should come to the meal the next day. Then they agreed to come. The next morning they came to Magadha, but when the people saw them, they were afraid and ran away. The Buddha then told them not to be afraid because the hungry ghosts were their parents. And he asked them if he should dedicate the merit to the hungry ghosts as they had requested. They said, "Of course, please dedicate it to them." Then Buddha said that he would dedicate the merit from offering the food so that the hungry ghost would be liberated from their state and take rebirth in the higher realms. They were then reborn in the heaven of the 33 gods. So dedication has this much power. Right now we understand Dharma and we have a precious human life with food, clothes, and enough wealth. If we are satisfied with what we have, we don't need to dedicate our merit for those things. Instead, we should dedicate our merit to achieve the state of Buddhahood. The way to dedicate merit to attain Buddhahood is to realize the three spheres. That is yourself, your virtues, and the dedication are all non-dual. For example, if you examine your hand, a bell, and the sound of the bell, you cannot find them. They are all empty of self-existence. If you examine your hand, you look at the parts such as fingers, nails, and so on, and you can't find a hand there. Likewise, the bell has a top, bottom, inside, outside, and so on, but you cannot find a bell. If you look for the sound of the bell, you cannot find it inside, outside, inside, or anywhere else. Nevertheless, when you ring the bell with your hand, a sound is produced. Similarly, a result will occur even though your virtues, and the dedication are all non-dual. Whatever we practice, we should practice purely. If we dedicate, after we dedicating, we should have no doubt that our practice has been pure. We shouldn't deceive ourselves. Whatever we practice, we should practice from our heart and not only intellectually. We should practice with feeling as Milarepa did. Milarepa described how to practice in the 10 similes. 10 similes. When compassion wells up from within the depths of my heart, I see the beings of the three realms like they are burning in a pit of fire. When I am clinging in my heart to the teachings of the whispered lineage, that clinging just dissolves like salt dissolving in water. When there is a dualistic view, then there seems to be a difference between meditation and post-meditation. But when paramodal wisdom arises inside, it is like waking up from the dualistic dream and seeing that all is meditation. When great bliss is embraced by the view of emptiness, everything appearing liberates itself like bubbles on water. When you know the true nature of everything to be known, The wisdom that's aware of the true nature is like a cloud-free sky. When the mud settles and the river of mind is crystal clear, self-erasing awareness is like a polished mirror. When the base consciousness dissolves in the Dharmakaya, the skandhas born of craving and grasping are crushed like in egg. When you have cut the rope of clinging, then the pardo between two lives is like a snake tied in a knot. The knot just comes untied by itself. When your conduct is free of all adopting and all rejecting, the mind just settles in a space that is action-free. This mind is fearless like a lion. Bright appearance, bright emptiness, and bright wisdom are like the blazing sun shining in a cloud-free sky. These 10 similes were actually experienced by Milarepa in his practice. If you just say that you should dedicate with compassion, bodhicitta, and paramour wisdom, and you just understand intellectually, there will be no great benefit to us. I should try to put these teachings into practice, and you should try to integrate them into your mind. When you come to dedicate, you should dedicate from the bottom of your heart, from your very bones, from the center of your mind. If you can't practice Dharma deeply and experientially, then we will become courageous. The way to practice courageously is explained in the path instructions called drawing the line between warriors and cowards. The little cowards who think this life is real can become warriors by realizing that this life is appearance and emptiness. The little cowards, deceived by confusion of their thoughts can become warriors by realizing the true nature of mind. The little cowards, deceived by the confusion of persevere and perceived, can become warriors by realizing their non-duality. The little cowards who always put their hopes in others can become warriors by transcending all hopes and fears. The little cowards who think self and others are different can become warriors by realizing that self and others are equal. The little cowards who cling to themselves as being most important can become warriors by realizing selflessness. If you know those differences between cowards and warriors, you can know that your intelligence is working pretty well. In the root text verse on dedication, it says, by the undefiled, innate virtue. Some scholars said that innate virtue could not be dedicated. But Lord Jigten Sunggun said that the virtue accumulated in the 3 times and the innate virtue could all be dedicated. The way to dedicate the undefiled innate virtues is to dissolve conditioned virtue into the innate virtue. When we do this, then these virtues will remain without end. So the result will ripen endlessly. The Dharmakaya has innate virtue, so it manifests the Sambhogakaya and the Nirmanakaya inexhaustibly for the benefit of sentient beings. Gampopa said that if the one accumulates conditioned virtues for eons, or accumulates innate, unconditioned virtue for just a moment, the innate, unconditioned virtue is greater. Whatever we dedicate, if we dedicate through innate virtue, this is supreme. Pamudra said that we have remained in samsara since beginningless time because we don't know how to dedicate our virtues. Lord Jigten Sunggun said that we have accumulated a lot of virtues, but we have been dedicated them for mundane results. When we practice Dharma, whatever we dedicate will bring beneficial results. Lord Jigten Sunggun said that if we dedicate for good health, long life, beauty, and so on, and not for attaining Buddhahood, then that is a mistake way of dedicating. If we dedicate our merit to attain Buddhahood, then as we attain Buddhahood, the other benefits such as long life, health, and so on will come naturally at the same time. Just as the branches come naturally as the roots and trunk of a tree grow up. Dedication is antidote to wrong view. Wrong view is the most serious non-virtue among the 10 non-virtues. With wrong view, we cannot take rebirth, Amitabha's Pure Land. In general, Amitabha's Pure Land is very easy to be reborn into, but not if we have wrong view. There are 4 things that reduce our virtues. First is to dedicate mistakenly for the sake of this life, for the sake of only this life, especially for oneself. Then, no matter what great virtues we accumulate, they cannot become the cause of enlightenment. Second is to pridefully boast of our virtues. Third is to regret our virtues, actions. Fourth is to not dedicate our virtues, actions. The best and highest way to dedicate is through the realization of non-duality. This dedication multiples our virtues, and the merit will never be exhausted. If we cannot do this, then we should at least dedicate with bodhicitta to benefit all beings. When we dedicate, we should invoke the deities as witness. Then we will be sincere and honest in our dedication. Lord Jigten Sungkun said in the Fivefold Mahamudra, if the wish-granting gem of the two accumulations has not been polished by prayers of aspiration, the fruits of our wish and desire will not come. So persevere in this final dedication. The way to dedicate as Bodhisattva, which we often recite in the King of Noble Aspirations, is in whatever we violent. Manjushri and Samanthabhadara know how to transfer merit. So do I dedicate all of my own virtues, that I may train to be like them. Then there is the way to dedicate as Tathagata dedicate. Tathagatas dedicate. As it says in the King of Aspirations, since dedication is praised as supreme by the victorious Buddhas of the three times, I dedicate all of these roots of virtue to accomplishing the deeds of Samanthabhadara. The way to dedicate to purify obscurations is, as it says in the King of Aspirations, at the moment of my death, may all my obscurations be removed, that I may behold Amitabha, the Buddha of boundless light, and go to Sukhavati, the pure land of perfect bliss. The dedication according to the Parjana Paramita, the perfection of wisdom, is in that blissful land, may I completely fulfill all of these aspirations and benefit all beings for as long as the universe remains. Then we dedicate that the Buddha may foretell our enlightenment, and that we may fulfill that prediction. As it says in the King of Aspirations, joyful there in that blessed assembly of the Buddha, may I be reborn like the holy ones from in exquisite lotus. And may the Buddha Amitabha himself foretell my own enlightenment. May I thereafter emanate endlessly through the power of perfect wisdom to accomplish countless benefits for living beings in all the 10 directions. Then we dedicate whatever we recite and whatever virtues that we cultivate. For example, as it says in the King of Noble Aspirations, through whatever small virtues I have gathered by reciting this aspiration of Samanthabhadara, may all the virtues, aspirations of living beings be accomplished in a single moment. Then we dedicate so that all beings may be reborn in whatever pure land they prefer. As it says in the King of Noble Aspirations, through the boundless merit gained by dedicating these aspirations of Samanthabhadara, may the countless beings drowning in the torrent of suffering reach the stage of Amitabha. As Lord Jigten Sunggon said, we generally dedicate virtues for all mother thinking beings to become enlightened. But if we dedicate to accomplish our Guru's wish, then since their wish is that all mother thinking beings attain Buddhahood, that dedication is great. We often offer this dedication prayer because it is very important. If we understand what Manjushri did, then when we make this prayer, it has a great benefit. As the Heart Sutara says, remembering the profound meaning when saying the words will conquer the Maras. This Heart Sutara is in repelling part. Because the Shakyamuni Buddha often praised Manjushri, the great Bodhisattva, Lion of Skill is Bodhisattva's name, asked him to tell his disciples about Manjushri. The Buddha did this in the Rinakuta Sutara. Countless eons ago, as many eons ago as the grains of sand in 100,000 Ganga rivers, there was a Buddha named King of Thunderous Sound who taught the Dharma. There were thousands of Sharavikas and practical Bodhisattvas present. And there was a king named King of the Sky who had the 7 royal attributes. That king offered that Buddha, the Sharavikas, and the Bodhisattvas food, house, temples, and so on for 84,000 years. It seems life to life he offered. One day, when the king was staying alone in a solitary place, he thought about the great merit that he had accumulated from making so many offerings for such a long period of time. Of course, 84,000 years. He considered whether he should dedicate the merit to become king of the gods, or a Brahman, or a Chakravarti king, or a Sharavika, or a practical Buddha. As he was thinking about that, from space, he heard a voice that told him not to dedicate his merit merely to achieve such, trivial results, but rather to dedicate it for complete enlightenment. When the king heard that, he was very happy, and he enthusiastically determined to follow that instruction. Then the king and all the people in his kingdom went to see the Buddha, Thunderous Sound. The king bowed his head and the feet of the Buddha, and then he circumambulated the Buddha 7 times. He placed his hands in the mudra of prostration and requested that the Buddha teach him. He told the Buddha about his accumulation of merit and also about the voice he had heard in the sky that told him to dedicate for enlightenment. And he asked the Buddha to explain how he could do that and attain enlightenment. The Buddha explained that all phenomena depend on conditions. So the king would achieve enlightenment if he focused and dedicated for that for the benefit of all mother sentient beings. The Buddha said that he had also dedicated like that, and that now he had become enlightened. The king was very happy to hear that, and he said that he would benefit all mother sentient beings until samsara became emptied. He vowed that from that day he would not give rise to anger, attachment, or any afflictive emotions, and that he would stay in samsara for the sake of even a single sentient being for as long as it would take. He said that any sentient beings who even heard his name would benefit. And he dedicated with great bodhicitta that he would purify and liberate all sentient beings. He requested that some sign manifest to show if his dedication would be fulfilled. And then from the sky, music was heard that there was a rain of mandarava flowers. A voice was heard from the sky saying that many thousands of billions of beings would follow him and be led on the path of bodhicitta. Then Shakyamuni Buddha said that the king of the sky was Manjushri, and that he became completely enlightened as many eons ago as the number of grains of sand in 64 Ganga rivers, and that all the many thousands of billions of beings who followed his teachings also had become enlightened. Manjushri also led countless beings in the path of 6 perfections. This is what Manjushri accomplished in the past through the power of dedication. In the future also Manjushri will tirelessly benefit mother sentient beings for many eons. Manjushri dedicated his merits for all mother sentient beings and benefit them in this way. As Shantideva said in the Bodhicharya Avatara, the guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life, for as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, may I remain to remove all the sufferings of sentient beings. So now we understand clearly about Manjushri and how he dedicated about his virtues, how long he accumulated virtues, so forth. So right now we recite his mantra, Om Arapazana Di 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 Di. It will help us to increase our wisdom. However, Manjushri is a very popular Yadam deity. So Manjushri is the essence of all Yadam deities' wisdom, or Buddhas represent of all Buddhas' wisdom. So Manjushri did not appear just suddenly, but he accumulated merit for thousands of years, and then finally he dedicated them. That's why right now Manjushri is a powerful Yadam deity, and he is the wisdom of all Buddhas. So dedication is very, very important. How many very important I said today? I say very important, but you do important things, okay? You are much greater practitioner than me. So I am like a parrot, right? Parrot, just say, and you do. It's good. In the future, first you become enlightened, and then you help me to liberate from samsara. At that time, your benefit spontaneously come to me because right now I make some course of this merit. So, okay, thank you very much. So we will pray the Serkhangma text. Actually means that today we cannot finish. Probably next Tuesday we will accomplish Serkhangma commentary teaching. So today we stop here. However, we cannot finish today, so still remain two more important branches. So, okay.
I gaze upon the Supreme, self-arisen Lama, seated on the immutable, spontaneously established throne, here in the mandala of primordially pure mind, as it is, in the supreme palace of all the victorious ones of the three times. I gaze upon the Supreme Lama, who is meaningful to behold. The instant I behold that great bliss of Dharmadhatu, I cross the vast ocean of samsara and arrive at the blissful pure ground. With the eye of wisdom, I gaze unwaveringly upon the Lama, the victorious hero in the battle. Just by remembering that refuge, all afflicting emotions, thoughts, and the hordes of maras are defeated. In your body, the victorious ones of the three times of all the 10 directions appear together with their offspring. With joy, I gaze upon your body, adorned with all the major and minor marks, seated on the throne of fearlessness, lotus, sun, and moon. 3 kayas, nature of the mind, Vajradhara, you are inseparable from great bliss. Bowing down to you with innumerable bodies like cloud banks yearning with a full voice, I prostrate and go for refuge. Your body, the nature of precious bodhicitta, is inseparable from all the victorious ones of the three times. Thus, all Buddha fields are permeated by your body, and within your body all Buddha fields appear. I bow down to the glorious one. With your flawless, melodious speech like an ocean of ambrosia, you show all phenomena to be unborn, thereby defeating the Mount Meru of views. I prostrate to your unhindered Vajra speech. In the mandala of immutable mind beyond thought, you never move from the equanimity state of Dharmadhatu, yet you hold the wisdom power of knowing the three times. I prostrate to the spontaneously established non-duality. Even if expressed during all oceans of kalpas by all the victorious ones without exception, the qualities of your body, speech, and mind would not be completed. I prostrate to you who possesses limitless qualities. Until the ocean of samsara is exhausted, you perform the supreme activities that ripen all sentient beings. I prostrate to you, the Lama, who is the manifold, effortlessly arising, unceasing, supreme refuge. Oceans of emanated offerings to you delight the victorious ones and ripen all sentient beings. Having completely filled the Dharmadhatu, I make this unsurpassed offering unceasingly. From the heart palace of the Great Being radiates the light of immeasurable bodhicitta. Thus, in all the pure lands of the 10 directions, innumerable beautiful offering goddesses manifest, holding water, flowers, incense, lamps, supreme scents, and food. From the cloud banks of offerings, rain falls, delighting the victorious ones of the 3 times. Thereby filling the spheres of realms, I make offerings to the victorious ones of the 3 times. Light radiates once more from the body of the victorious one, manifesting parasols, victory banners, draped banners, canopies, musical instruments, garments, precious jewels, medicine, and grains. I offer ocean-like cloud banks of these manifold offerings. The 7 precious royal attributes, like the wheel, the 7 subsidiary ones, like the mansion, the auspicious substances, the substances of the siddhis, and so on, have arisen from the 2 accumulations. Please accept these offerings. Furthermore, I behold in my mind and offer to the Protector all offerings throughout the limitless pure lands of the victorious ones that belong to an owner and do not belong to an owner, and all that is worthy to be offered. I offer all pure lands of the victorious ones of the 3 times, which are the very pure mandalas of the 3 kayas, completely filled with flawless prosperity. Please accept these offerings, you, the Lord of Compassion. To you, Protector, I offer my body, speech, and mind, all wealth equal to space without exception, and all the virtues accumulated in the 3 times. Out of compassion, please accept these for the benefit of all sentient beings. By seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and recollecting the Vajra goddesses of form, sound, odor, taste, and tangible objects, the 3 obscurations are purified. I offer the goddesses of appealing objects to you. Please accept them, Immaculate, Victorious Lord. The Vajra goddess of body, nature of form, is the supreme goddess of fully purified ignorance. I merge her with the eyes of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of mind, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified hatred. I merge her with the ears of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of qualities, nature of odor, is the supreme goddess of fully purified arrogance. I merge her with the nose of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of speech, nature of taste, is the supreme goddess of fully purified desire. I merge her with the tongue of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of activity, nature of tangible objects, is the supreme goddess of fully purified jealousy. I merge her with the body of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the bliss of non-duality. The Vajra goddess of primordial emptiness of all phenomena, nature of sound, is the supreme goddess of fully purified mind as it is. I merge her with the mind of the Lama, Lord of Dharma. Please accept this in the great bliss of non-duality. I offer means and wisdom inseparable, the supreme victorious one, the 5 families with consorts, the assembly of Viras and Dakinis, and the Buddhas filling the limitless sky. Please accept this great bliss. From the equality of all phenomena, the ocean-like samadhi, oceans of unwavering manifestations arise and guide all beings. Please accept the assemblies of the victorious offspring, the bodhisattvas, who rule all Buddha fields. The ones of great fierceness, wrathful out of immeasurable compassion, show grinding teeth and fierce faces on their posing bodies. Please accept these wrathful victorious ones of primordial wisdom, who defeat the hordes of Maras by the roar of Hong and Pit. All manifold clouds of outer, inner, and secret offerings are offered in this vast mandala of Samantabhadra's mind, within the mode of abiding of unchanging non-duality. The unsurpassed offering of suchness is offered. All phenomena are primally and completely pure mind as it is. Within that, whatever confusion, dualistic appearance of oneself and others, distinction of good and bad, hatred and attachment there might be, each and everything I confess. May it be purified within that state. With a happy mind, I rejoice in all virtues of the victorious ones of the three times, of the assemblies of the superior ones, of the unceasing wheel of the two accumulations, and of sentient beings. I beseech you, protectors in the worlds of the 10 directions, by completely turning the wheel of stainless dharma with the sound of the ocean-like branches of melodious speech, please ripen all sentient beings without exception. I beseech you, protectors who abide throughout all realms, please do not pass into nirvana until the exhaustion of the dhatu of space. Rather, fulfill your commitments by abiding permanently. May all sentient beings be established in the unsurpassed supreme state by this virtue, by the virtues accumulated in the 3 times throughout all samsara and nirvana, and by the undefiled innate virtue. By the light rays of immeasurable great compassion from the palace of body, speech, and mind of the victorious one, please purify my body, speech, and mind, and thus transform it into your body, speech, and mind. Protector, as you made offerings and delighted the sublime Lama, likewise may I always offer ocean-like clouds of offerings and delight you. May I follow in your footsteps. May I perform limitless activities that do not even waver a hair's tip with respect to the liberation of your body, speech, and mind. May I be renowned in the 3 worlds. Thus may anybody just by hearing my name or remembering me be completely liberated from the tormenting suffering and attain the state of great bliss of the victorious ones. May I turn into any form equal to the expanse of sentient beings, taming them according to their needs. Thereupon may they take refuge joyfully and be established in the unsurpassed supreme awakening. Those ones who are oppressed with shrouds of ignorance, who lost the path, who are threatened by afflicting emotions, such as the henchmen of the Lord of Death, may they helplessly remember me and instantly find the supreme path. Becoming the inexhaustible wheel of ornamentation, which is body, speech, and mind of all victorious ones of the 3 times, may I completely dry out the ocean of samsara and establish all sentient beings in the unsurpassed supreme state. In all my lives, may I never be separated from the authentic Lama and enjoy the glories of the Dharma. By completely perfecting the qualities of bhumis and paths, may I swiftly attain the state of Vajradhara.
Ma ju ba na ju ju je ju ba nyam ba me ba yang go ne gong de pe wa shu.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase, higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Enjoy with bodhicitta mind.